Welcome to the tasting of the 2019 the full Montepulciano from Eden Valley. This vineyard is about 410 metres above sea level and therefore is relatively cool climate and is fairly well dry grown. It's quite intense considering how high altitude it is, and the skins are leathery and thick and quite dark. They stain your hands. And there's a really lovely floral element to this vineyard as well, despite the fact that Montepulciano is usually quite rich and dark and herbaceous. So Marcus and Marilyn Bartolomeus grow this on their home block. It was originally planted as Arnaise, which is a white variety, but it was grafted across about a decade ago. So the full Monte is obviously a bit of a play on words. We wanted to be a little bit cheeky with this label, but it also shows the extent that this fruit can go to and the range that it can cover, everywhere from your florals right through to the forest floor and the herbaceousness that Monte can often lend. So in the glass you can see rich darkness there. Generally we'll put this on a cold soak for about 3 or 4 days, which means that you get water extraction rather than too much alcoholic extraction. And we want to avoid getting too much tannin from the seeds, which are generally speaking quite yellow or green, even if we pick it as late as May, which we have. So on the nose, some of those florals still come through even with the 2019 vintage, and even after time in barrel you still get some lovely floral aromatics, and on top of that there's some really nice red fruits right through to a couple of darker fruits that are starting to show. On the palate, some beautiful natural acidity that we see off that vineyard. It's indicative of fruit that high generally as well, and there's some beautiful raspberries and some other red fruits, as well as some really nice herbaceousness. It's almost rosemary, it's that herbaceous. Monte tends to have those tannins that we talked about earlier, and this definitely has some lovely drinkable tannins that get into your cheeks and into your gums, and would definitely make a lovely food-friendly wine. So we'd probably pair this with something like a nice fresh northern Italian pasta or something like that. Either way, it can be an after work drink or a foodie's wine, so we think you'll love it. Cheers.